In this video, we're going to customize our XFCE desktop. We'll be installing new fonts, themes, and icons, and we'll even take a look at the cool Compiz animations, all without installing any extra software. Just a quick note, I'm using Linux Mint with the XFCE desktop, but the steps I show you will work on pretty much any XFCE-based distribution out there. Alright, let's begin. So the first thing we need to do is download a new font. You can definitely pick any font you like, but for this video, I'm going to be using the Inter font. You can easily grab it right from fonts.google.com, so go ahead and download that font. Once the download is finished, just extract the zipped file and open up the resulting folder. Now, look for the main font file. It's usually the one called something like Inter variable font. Make sure you pick the non-italic version and then double-click on it. You should see a window pop up with an install button. Click that, and the font will be automatically installed on your system. Now, if for some reason you don't see that installation option when you open the font file, there's another way to do it. First, go inside this folder named Static, and open a second window of your file manager. Make sure you are in your home folder and then show your hidden files. We need to create a new folder here and name it, very specifically, .fonts. That dot in front is important. Once that folder is created, you can simply drag all those font files from the static folder and drop them right into the new .fonts folder. That will manually install them for you. But since I've already got this font installed, I'm going to skip this step. Now that the font is installed, let's go ahead and apply it. Open your application menu and search for Appearance, then launch that setting. Once the window opens, click on the Font tab. You can see here that the default font is currently set to Ubuntu Regular. Go ahead and click on it, find your Inter font in the list, and set it to Inter Regular. If you want, you can also bump up the font size just a little bit here. This will increase the font size across your entire system. Once you're happy, click Select. Next up, we need to change the title bar font. Go back to your application menu and search for Window Manager and open that. In this window, you'll see the option for changing the title font. Just like we did before, go ahead and set this one to your intermediate font. Once you've changed both of those fonts, you need to either log out or restart your system so that those new font settings can be applied properly. I have just restarted my system and the new font has been applied properly. Now it's looking much cleaner and more polished. Now it's time to change the wallpaper. If you already have one you like, go ahead and apply it now. And if you're interested in using some of the exact wallpapers you see me using here, I will make sure to drop a direct link for them down in the video description below. So after the wallpaper is set, we're going to download a few themes and an icon pack. First, click the link below for the Orcus GTK theme. Once you are on the page, click the Files tab right here and download the first file, which is just named orcus.tar.xz. When that's done, we're going to download a second theme, which is called Sweet New Flavor. Go to its page, click the Files tab again. We need to download a couple of versions here. First, let's download the Sweet Amber Blue Dark version. This will be our dark theme. Next, download the version simply named Sweet. This will be our light theme. Go ahead and grab all three of those theme files. Alright, now let's download our icon pack. Visit this next link for the icon theme page. As you can see, there are tons of options here. I usually use the Tele icon theme for my own setup, but this time I'm going to download something different. You are free to download whichever icon theme you like, but for this tutorial, let's go with the W10X icon theme. Click on it, scroll down and go to the Files tab and download the first option, which is the W10X Special one. Keep in mind, even if you choose a different icon theme, the installation process we're about to use will be mostly the same. Once all your downloads are finished, you can close the browser and open your file manager. Navigate to your Downloads folder. Right-click on the Orcus theme file and select Extract Here option. Once the process complete, open that newly extracted folder. Just quickly check that you see multiple folders inside, like Orcus, Orcus Dark, Orcus Compact, and so on. Now, we need to put these files in the correct place. Open a second window of your file manager and make sure you are in your home directory. If you can't see the hidden files, hit Ctrl+H. Then we need to create a special folder here. Right-click, create a new folder, and name it .themes. Open that new .themes folder. Now go back to the first window and copy or move all of those Orcus theme folders that you just extracted and drop them right inside this new .themes folder. Okay, let's head back to the downloads folder again. Since we've moved the Orcus themes, you can go ahead and delete the original Orcus archive file from downloads as we don't need it anymore. Next, we need to extract the other two archives. Go ahead and extract both of your Suite theme files now. Now for these two Suite themes, the process is a little simpler. You can directly copy or move these extracted folders into your .themes folder. That's because, unlike the Orcus theme, these folders are the theme folders themselves, and they don't contain extra sub-theme folders inside. So just copy both Suite theme folders and drop them straight into that .themes folder we created earlier. Now, one last bit of cleanup. From the Downloads folder, you can also delete those Suite theme archives, as we won't need them anymore, and now we only have our icon theme file left. For the icons, the process is similar to what we did for the themes. In that second File Manager window, make sure you are still in your Home folder. Go ahead and create one last new folder and name it .icons. Remember the dot. Now you might be thinking that creating all these hidden folders is annoying, and I completely agree. But this is actually the most reliable and robust way to install themes and icons. Installing them directly from the appearance settings doesn't always work and often throws errors, so this manual method guarantees success. Now that the .icons folder is ready, go back to your Downloads folder, extract the icon theme file, open the extracted folder, and copy both the dark and non-dark variant folders directly into your new .icons folder. Next, let's apply our themes. Open your application menu, search for Appearance, and launch it. In this list, you should now see all of your new themes, Orcus and Suite. Let's apply them one by one so you can see the visual difference each one makes. Here is the default Orcus theme. You can see how everything is light, but it has a dark title bar. Then we have Orcus Dark and Orcus Compact. And here is our Suite Ambar Blue Dark theme. This one is a bit darker than the Orcus Dark option, and it's also more colorful, featuring some nice gradient colors and rounded buttons. Similarly, we have the Suite Light theme with its colorful gradient look. After testing them, you can clearly see the effect the theme has on the entire system. Check out the application menu, the sliders, the toggles, and other parts of the UI. Now let's go with a custom combination. We are going to set the main theme to Orcus Dark Compact, but we are going to use the Suite Ambar Blue Dark theme specifically for the window title bars. To do this, apply the Orcus Dark theme from the appearance settings, then we need to change the Window Manager theme. Go back to your application menu and launch the Window Manager. On the left side, you'll see the theme section. As you can see, the current title bar theme is set to Orcus Dark, so just set it to Suite Ambar Blue Dark. And here is the final look of our mixed theme. Just note that some older apps, like the calculator, I guess they are called GTK apps, might still retain the look of your main Orcus theme, but I think that looks perfectly fine. We still haven't applied our new icons, so let's do that now. Go back to the Appearance settings, click on the Icons tab, find your favorite icon pack in the list, which in our case is the W10X Special that we downloaded. So just go ahead and apply it. And remember, when you are using a dark theme, you must apply the dark variant of the icon theme as well. Here, let me show you what happens if you apply the wrong version. I've just applied the light variant here, and you can see that some of the icons are not visible properly or they just blend in. So this is why you always need to apply the correct icon theme variant based on your current theme setup. So while this icon theme gives the desktop a Windows-like feel, I personally don't think they look quite good with this setup. But hey, this was just to show you how easy it is to apply any icon theme you download from the internet. And I'm going to change it. I have some other icon packs in the list here, and I'm going to use the Papyrus icon set. This was pre-installed on my system, but if you can't find it in your list, you can simply download it using the link provided below. Now let me show you one quick visual fix. If you open your application menu, you might have noticed that while you have those nice rounded corners, there's still a solid background behind it. So let's fix that. First, let me change the wallpaper quickly so you'll be much better able to see the effect when it's done. Now right-click directly on the application menu button and select Properties. In the window that pops up, look for the Background Opacity option and simply reduce that setting down to 0. Now, when you open the menu, you get those much cleaner, better-looking rounded corners with transparency. Just keep in mind that this specific look only works when you have the Orcus theme applied. While you are here in the Whiskers menu configuration window, I recommend taking a moment to explore the other settings for customizing your menu. You can adjust the width and height of the menu, change the icon size, or even enable the grid view, and much more. For now, I'm going to stick with the default look, but feel free to tweak these to your liking. And with that, let's explore the other ways of accessing your apps. This is especially helpful in case you accidentally remove your menu or the entire panel. To set this up, simply right-click on your desktop and open the desktop settings and go to the Menu tab. Here you'll see an option to enable application menu on desktop right-click. Go ahead and tick that box. Now whenever you right-click anywhere on your desktop, you'll get a quick option to access all of your apps and programs right from that context menu. You might have already noticed this application finder listed in the menu, but if you're not using it in the most efficient way, here is how you can level up your workflow. This tool lets you quickly search and launch your apps. If you set a simple keyboard shortcut to open it, believe me, your app launching experience will get much better and faster, and you might rarely use the main menu again. So here's how you can set a custom shortcut for the application finder. First, go to your menu, right-click on the application finder item, and select Edit Application. In this window, you need to copy the entire command value. So just copy the value as shown here, and then open your keyboard settings. Go to the Application Shortcuts tab, click on Add, and here, paste the command that you just copied. Next, simply press your desired shortcut combination. I'm going to use Alt+A for this example. Your new custom shortcut will now be added to this list. You might notice I have more than one shortcut for the Finder. That's just because I already had one set up and I'm adding this new one for the demo. So now, when you press your new shortcut, the application finder is triggered instantly and ready to go. Now it's time to tweak the panel. Open your application menu and search for panel, then launch that setting. Let's explore a few of the options here. First, if you want to move or change the position of your panel, just unlock it from this option here, and then you can drag your panel wherever you want it. And then we have the panel mode. We can change it to vertical, which will give you an appearance like this, and then we have the desk bar option, which looks very similar to the vertical mode. But for now, we'll be sticking with the default horizontal mode. After that, we have the option to change the panel size. You can make it bigger or smaller, but remember, this only increases the height of the panel. If you want to adjust the size of the icons on the panel, you'll find that setting inside the Appearance section. Now, if you want to change the background color of the panel, simply select the background style to solid color, and then you can pick whichever color you want. You can even pick the custom color and also make it completely transparent if you want. The Icons section gives you all the options related to changing icon sizes. Enabling the Adjust Size Automatically option will increase the size of icons to match your panel height. However, this feature doesn't always cover all of the icons, meaning you might still need to adjust some manually. Instead, I'm going to adjust the icon size manually for my main panel items. 26 pixels seems perfect for my setup. Even so, after setting the size manually, it still doesn't change a few specific icons, like the Wi-Fi or this little indicators. To fix these system icons, navigate to the Items section. Select the item called X-App Status Plugin. With that item selected, just click this little icon right here, and then from this window, you can then adjust the icon size specifically for this plugin to make those system icons match the others. If you're not happy with how the default time and date appears in the panel, here is how you can customize it exactly the way you want. First, select the clock here and open its Preferences window. You'll see all the available options here. If your layout is currently set to digital, you will have the option to decide which information you want to show, whether it's the date only or both the date and time. I'm going to select Date Only for my panel. Now, if you open that format setting, you'll find every date format option you can choose from. Let's say I select this one for a cleaner look. Perfect. I think this looks much better, and you can even change the font and text size of the clock right here if you want. I will select the inner font here so it matches the other parts of our system. I'm also going to increase the font size just a little bit. Now this is looking good. However, if you've noticed, the text currently has no space around it. It's just touching the panel's edge. I think a little spacing will look much better. Here is how you can add some space around the clock. From the date format settings, select the Custom Format option. In this box, you can manually type in spaces using the spacebar as much as you like, both before and after the format code, to create that padding. If you open a few windows or apps very quickly, our panel can get cluttered and look messy, mostly because it shows the full long title of the windows. Here is how you can fix this and make your panel more compact and clean. In your panel preferences settings, select the window buttons item and open its preferences. Inside here, you can simply uncheck the box that says Show Button Labels. Now you will only see the icons of your currently open programs, which saves a lot of space. I recommend also adding a separator here so you can easily distinguish between your pinned apps and these currently open programs. Click the Add button and here choose the separator and click Add. Your new separator will likely appear way over on the right side of the panel, so you need to click and drag it to a position just above the window buttons item in the list. With the separator added, your panel should look much better. Now we will add the workspace indicator. Currently, we don't have one, meaning we don't know which workspace we are actively using. From the items list, add the workspace switcher. You can then position it on the panel wherever you want. After that, let's add another separator. This way, we will have a separator both before and after the workspace switcher item, which will just look better. Now that it's added, let's make it look even better. Open its Preferences window. First, click on the Workspace Settings option. At the top, you can add as many workspaces as you need. I'm going to set mine to 4 workspaces for now. Below that, you have the Workspace naming option. You can name them things like Desktop 1, 2, 3, or just A, B, C, D. While 1, 2, 3, 4 might be cleaner, let's stick with the alphabets for the demo. Finally, look at the appearance settings here. You can change it from the miniature view to simple buttons. This is how your workspace widget is going to look like. Now you'll know exactly which workspace you are currently in, and you can switch between them easily. Next up, we will change the application menu icon, right-click on the menu button, and go to the Properties option. And here, click on the Appearance tab. You'll see the icon option at bottom. Click on the current icon image, and from this window, you can select any icon available in your currently applied icon theme. But we will be using a custom icon. Select the Image File option from the drop-down menu here. After that, browse and select your icon file. You can choose any PNG or SVG file you have saved. I'm going to use this specific icon here, and just like that, our menu icon is changed. If you want to use the exact same icon I used, you can download it from the link down below. Now let's talk about animations. By default, XFCE doesn't have any animations at all. Take a look. When we open Application menu, there's no animation. When we close it, no animation. Even minimizing and maximizing the windows lacks any visual flair. And this is absolutely fine, because XFCE is known for its lightweight performance. But if you do want to have some animations, here is how you can achieve that. First, open your system settings and click on Desktop Settings. In this window, we need to change the window manager. In my case, the default is set to XFWM for compositing. Just make a note of the current manager name so you can easily switch back to default later. Now, simply change this setting to Compiz. If you find that the Compiz option is not in your window manager list, here is how you can install it manually. To do this, just open your terminal and run the appropriate command, as shown in the video. Once you run that command, all the necessary packages will be installed on your system. It was already pre-installed in my distro, but this is the process you'd follow to install it manually. Once you switch it to Compiz, you will immediately notice a difference in your title bar. This is because Compiz often doesn't work perfectly with third-party themes, so I would recommend applying one of the pre-installed system themes first. Simply open the appearance settings and apply one of the available system themes. I'm going to use the Mint Y Dark Purple theme here. Once you've done this, we can proceed to configure our Compiz manager. Before we continue, let's quickly fix an issue you might notice with your application menu. Because we are no longer using the Orcus theme, our transparent menu will look quite weird against the new background. To fix this, simply right-click on the menu button, go to Properties, and then increase the background opacity back up to a normal level. Now your menu should look normal again. Now we can finally configure Compiz. Click on Configure Compiz. A warning will pop up. Please read this carefully and take it seriously because it is absolutely true. If you make the wrong changes or click certain settings, you could actually make your system temporarily unusable. And you might have noticed that our Workspace widget is now showing only one workspace. I don't know the exact reason for this, but I still have 4 workspaces. I just can no longer switch between them using that widget. Fortunately, I can still switch between them using the keyboard shortcut, Control, Alt and the arrow keys, left, right, and up and down. Go ahead and try that out to confirm it works for you. Right after switching to the Compiz window manager, you should notice that you already have a few default animations enabled. For example, we already have the desktop cube effect. It appears when I switch to a different desktop using Control plus Alt plus left or right. Now for the fun part, let's set up the custom animations you've been waiting for. First, find the animations option in the list. Make sure its checkbox is enabled and then click on the option itself to open the settings. First, let's set a custom animation for our application menu. Currently, it just uses a simple fade effect. Inside the animation settings, make sure you are in the Open Animation tab. Now, click the New button. Here, you need to select your effect. You might be able to guess how some of these animations look by their names, but for others, you'll need to try them out to see how they behave. I'm going to select the Horizontal Fold option. Next, you need to set the duration of the animation. Set this to somewhere between 500 to 1000 milliseconds if you want to feel the animation. And for the crucial part, the window match field, you need to type exactly type equals menu with a capital M. Once you close this window, you'll see that a new entry has been added to your animation list. However, this animation won't work just yet. You need to select your new animation in the list and then click the Up button until your animation reaches the very top. Because Compiz uses the animation at the top of the list first, so this will ensure our custom type equals menu rule overrides the default fade effect. Now you should see our custom animations working. Even though it might look a bit slow and doesn't feel as snappy as we want, don't worry, we can change it easily. Simply select the animation entry and click Edit. First, let's reduce the duration to make the animation faster. I'm going to set mine to 500 milliseconds. For the open effect, let's try selecting Sidekick this time instead of Horizontal Fold. And here is our new animation. It is now much faster and features a different effect. As you might have noticed, this custom animation is currently working only when we are opening the menu, but closing the menu still lacks any animation. We can set the animation for the closing action in exactly the same way. Simply go to the Close Animation tab and repeat the steps we just completed. Click New, choose your desired close effect and set the duration. For the window match field, type equals menu again, since we are still setting the animation specifically for the menu. Crucially, you will also need to move your new close animation to the top of the list to ensure it starts working immediately. Great, now our animation is working for both opening and closing. And here is a fun little detail. If you move your cursor somewhere before the animation starts or ends, the animation will appear to start or finish right at that cursor position. I don't know if that's necessarily a good thing or a bad thing, but hey, it is what it is. Next, we will set the animations for your normal applications, your everyday window opening and closing. Go back to the Open Animation tab and click the New button. You can now select your desired window opening effect and duration. This time, for the window match field, you need to type equals normal. This tells Compiz to apply the effect to standard application windows. Let's test it, and as you can see, it's not working. This is because we haven't yet moved the new rule to the top. So let's move our new animation to the top, and if you are wondering why I didn't move it to the very top, above the type equals menu rule, it's because we don't always have to do that. We only need to place the rule above the other general rules that contain the same window type. So here, I just moved it above the other default rule that contains type equals normal. Let's test it again, and as you can see, we now get that cool little wavy animation when opening a window. In a similar way, you can now set the animation for closing your windows. Simply go to the Close Animation tab, click New, select your effect and duration, and ensure you type equals normal in the window match field. And there it is, our magic lamp wavy animation when closing a window. This is really fun to try out. Now, let's set our minimizing and maximizing effects. Go to the Minimize tab first. This time, we won't create a new entry. Instead, we will edit the existing one. Simply select that option and click Edit. For the effect, I selected Magic Lamp and increased the duration slightly. Leave the window match field as it is since it's already set up correctly. Now, repeat the same process for the Unminimize animation by finding and editing the existing entry there. For the effect, I'm selecting Curved Fold. And here is how the minimizing and restoring effects look. They really make the desktop feel dynamic. Finally, we have the shade animation. I actually don't know what that effect does, so we will skip it for now. Next, let's change the focus animation. You'll understand what this does once we set it up. Simply select the existing entry for focus and click Edit. So, here I have selected the wave effect and increased the duration just a little bit. Once you close the window, here is what the focus animation does. When you have multiple windows open and you click to focus on any specific window, that window will animate using the effect you selected. And while adding animations to every little change might not always be a good thing, but if you like the look, you now know exactly where to find those settings. Now we will cover our one last animation effect. Since we are finished with these individual settings, click the back button here to return to the main Compiz configuration window. Here, scroll down to the bottom and you will find the ring switcher option. Go ahead and check the box to enable it and then click on the option to open the settings. You'll see the shortcut listed here. By default, the next window key shortcut is usually set to Super plus Tab. Super is typically your Windows key. Try pressing those keys together to see what happens. If it doesn't work for you, just click here and then click on Grab Key Combination. Here, press your desired key. And avoid using the Super key here because it sometimes conflicts with other system shortcuts. I'm selecting Ctrl-Shift plus Tab for this example. Now, close the settings window and open a few applications. Press your new shortcut keys and take a look. This is like the standard Alt plus Tab window switcher, but with a different rotational animation. With this shortcut, you can switch between your open windows easily and nicely. If you want to use Alt plus Tab instead, I believe setting the shortcut exactly to those keys should work as well. Now, there is a very high chance that at some point you may want to disable all of these animations. They can be distracting, or maybe you just want that pure, lightweight XFCE speed back. Here is how you can do this easily. Simply open your desktop settings and change your window manager back to the default. And that's it. All the animations are gone and your old lightweight XFCE desktop is back.